any of you guys know anything about me, you would know just how much of a Spider-Man fan I am. I grew up reading the comics. I've watched I've watched all the shows. I freaking love Spider-Man. I I will buy Spider-Man no matter how much it is tarnished or whatever. And I'm going to see this new one. However, I dislike, and you will know this about me, I dislike thoroughly anything that Sony Pictures has done to the character. Now, not across the board, so I guess I shouldn't say any, but most of the stuff that they've done. I like it better in the hands of Marvel because of obvious reasons. Um, I'm not a fan of Venom. It has made me very unpopular by people because so many people love Venom. But anyone who is an actual fan going back to the old school days of Spider-Man, and I'm talking about many generations of Spider-Man, basically, would agree with me, honestly. Those who are new to it, I'm happy that they are appreciating what is being put out there, but it is Sony's involvement is always bad. I'm sorry, it just is. When it is fully in the hands of Marvel, it's so much better. Um, and the only time Sony is good is when they hire the right people. So, like for the original Raimi Spider-Man movies, super great because it was under great leadership, uh, uh, a wonderful writers and wonderful director and everything. Those were great. The first The Amazing Spider-Man, had mildly, decently okay moments to it, and then the second one was just terrible, horrible. And it's like, how do you ruin such an easily cool character? I don't think that Sony is all bad. I just think they're dumb. And I think they don't know how to write a good story unless they hire the right people to do it for them. Um, okay, with all that said, Sony's made some great choices. For example, when they hired the guys to do Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that was great. When they did Venom, no, I don't think it deserved what it got. I don't understand how it got what it got, but it is what it is. Now, moving past this, I didn't have any interest in seeing this trailer, mostly because I got insight from someone who knows someone. I don't want to out anyone who had insight that this would be everything I don't want it to be. So I had no interest in watching it. Then I couldn't avoid it. It was all over the internet. So I finally saw the trailer. And I have to say, yes, the trailer was impressive. It was very impressive. However, I really hated what they did with Doctor Strange in this because Doctor Strange not only has always been far more responsible since his first film, and he should be responsible. He shouldn't be reckless and doing this kind of stupid, like, it makes no sense. How can he be the Sorcerer Supreme? How can he be, the one who knows above all else and make this kind of a stupid choice, this irresponsible, stupid choice? It makes no damn sense. I'm sorry. It's so forced and contrived, and it feels like it's starting to feel like they're trying to put the plot before the characters. And that is the problem with the DCEU. That is the problem with Sony's attempt at a Spider Verse, and it's not ever been the problem with Marvel. Secondly, this whole multiverse stuff. Why is it that conveniently all of these different sources are now messing with multiverse stuff? Did they all call each other up and say, "Hey guys, it's time for us to mess with multiverse stuff"? Was Wanda like, "Yeah, I'm gonna mess with the multiverse." And then you have, you know, I don't wanna spoil any more because I'm afraid I spoiled something, but point is, all these characters are sudden now entering into multiverse territory without any reason for it, without there being one source that causes this chain reaction of people suddenly messing with multiverse stuff. It's so like unbelievably convenient. And it is, in my opinion, some of the worst writing I've ever seen Marvel put out. I don't understand how people can be okay with a narrative that doesn't add up. It's just they're calling this phase 4 as the multiverse phase. Okay, great. It should not just conveniently happen just so that all these characters can be a part of that. There needs to be a logical source to it. Otherwise, there's a hive mind there that no one is talking about. And that hive mind does exist, and that is the studio or whomever is behind the writing for these movies. I'm glad they're getting the multiverse stuff, honestly. Partially because I'm hoping that this really is the final thing that Sony needs to finally let Marvel just do what Marvel wants to do with this character. I don't know if that's really what's going to happen here, but I really hope that that is what happens here. Because while I've always been happy to have Spider Man in the MCU, I've always hated the thing that's attached to Spider Man, which is Sony. I just don't think Sony knows what good storytelling is. I think they know how to sell things. I think they know how to give fans what they're asking for, but I don't think they actually understand what good narrative is, what good writing is, what good storytelling is. They just throw in whatever people want to see, and it kills me. And I know that the entire internet is likely going to light my ass up for having these opinions. And I know so many people are excited about this new stuff. I couldn't hate it more. And I wouldn't hate the multiverse stuff just because it's a multiverse. I hate the multiverse stuff because of its association with what I consider inferior characters to cross over into a superior narrative. I don't know why we are cheering and praising something that's garbage. That being said, I would have liked to have seen what Marvel's villains for some of these characters actually would look like, who they would have cast to actually cast someone new. This is not the Sony franchise. I know that it is owned technically by Sony, but it is not the Raimi franchise. It's not the Mark Webb franchise. It's the MCU franchise. It's the Tom Holland franchise. It's its own thing. And I get that a lot of fans are complaining saying they want their old Spider-Man back. Okay, that's fine. But no one has ever fully embraced the fact that this one was always originally intended to be separate from those others. And so for them to do this, it completely negates that. And it almost gives the audience more of an argument as to why they felt the way they felt. I'm sorry, spoilers here. If you haven't seen WandaVision, step away for like, I don't know, a minute. In WandaVision, introduced an alternate, if you want to dare we say, variant. I did not care for it. And I know that it is under the Fox umbrella, but I did not care for them casting exactly Evan Peters. A lot of people disliked the twist of what that character turned out to be. I did not. I genuinely liked that because I didn't want that character to be a replacement. And I didn't want to go back and rehash old things. It's not that I don't think that the old stuff is bad by any means. I just think that it is something separate. and it needs to remain that way because some things just aren't meant to be mixed together. You know, I love chocolate and I love mashed potatoes and gravy, but I don't want chocolate on my mashed potatoes and gravy. I like them separate for a reason, and I like them the way that they were and are. So, anyway, I know this is where people will start calling me a gatekeeper. They'll say, "You're an idiot. Why don't you like this?" I just think it's I just don't think it's very smart. I don't think it's very well written. And I'm hoping that the theory that this is just a way to sort of appease Sony so that we can finally get rid of Sony's influence on the MCU so they can have Tom Holland Spider-Man and we can have Tom Holland Spider-Man at the same time, but different variants of him. Fine. But I am so looking forward to being past this so we can just get back to good old fashioned good storytelling and we can ignore, or I can ignore, all of the Sony garbage I'm not a fan of. It's fun to see Venom in real life. It's fun to see Carnage in real life. And who knows, maybe this new Venom movie will be far superior to the first one. But that first one was hot garbage. And anyone who's lying and saying that they love it is just trying to cater to, I don't know, everyone. I'm very much expecting a lot of hate for my opinions on this. But it's just how I feel. I love Spider-Man so much. I'm very protective of the character, and I don't like any association with the hot garbage that Sony is trying to push. I know that if it weren't for Sony, we wouldn't be doing this multiverse, at least the way we're doing this multiverse stuff. We'd still be doing multiverse, but it would have at least been, I feel, more of an original piece from Kevin Feige and from Marvel Studios. All right, so now let's see if I got some positives. It looked cool. It's fun to see the next step. The one thing that I like about the narrative here is the first film was about trying to find Peter trying to find his place, amongst the Avengers and trying to looking up to the Avengers and to Tony Stark. The second movie was about him looking down on himself so that he could overcome that. In this one, I think, yeah, it makes sense to have everyone looking at Peter, looking up to Peter or down at Peter. So in that regard, I think narratively speaking, it is strong. But the stuff that's happening in this movie, it's excessive. It feels overkill, it feels forced, and it also I just don't like it. I just it feels like Shrek Forever After or something. And I don't know why on earth Doctor Strange, who has done so much to protect, this realm, would go and jeopardize everything for a teenager. Mind you, this teenager helped him save half of the humanity and the rest of the universe. But why? I just why would he do this? Why would he be this reckless? It makes Doctor Strange out to be the villain. And then now I don't even know what exactly is the source head. What happened that he would actually do something this insanely irresponsible for Peter? I'll tell you what happened. The writing. They want something to happen, so they're going to force the plot to happen. And it is not as strong. It's just not as strong as the stuff that we've gotten from the Infinity Saga. I hope I am wrong. I hope that somehow they make this all work and that it turns out to be a fantastic movie and that this whole phase turns out to be awesome. A lot of people are loving this phase, calling it their favorite phase. It currently is my least favorite. Even with all the great shows and stuff that I've watched, I'm not a fan. I- And I don't want to be that old dude who's like, my opinions, oh, I like it when it was good. I don't want to be one of those people because we have those people already. The problem is we're catering to those people. And they're not just leaving alone one franchise, they gotta blend them all together. There was a time when I actually wanted that. I just don't. All right, rant over. This went on for a good 15 plus minutes. I hope that you guys don't totally hate me. I'm in Portland right now. I will be back tomorrow-ish. So I will get back into normal filming and stuff. So if you've missed anything from me, you know where to get it. Uh, I guess this is sort of like a fan theory episode. It's an extra long one, but it is truly my opinion. Spider-Man is one of the greatest comic book characters of all time. I hope this turns out well, and I'm hearing that this is going to be a 6-part franchise at least. So I'm looking forward to part 4, and I hope that part 3 doesn't suck as bad as I think it looks. Sorry for the unpopular opinion. I know everyone's going to disagree with me. It's just how I feel. All right. I'll see you guys around. No one popped into this live, so I guess that means no one saw it. But if you all see it, then great. And if you don't see it, great, because then you won't necessarily be mad at me for disagreeing with you. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day in Portland, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.